Welcome back to the Prince Hudda podcast, episode 19. I'm your host, Prince Hudda. Very excited for today's episode. I'm in a fantastic mood, dare I say. Coach Chip is not here this week. That is not why I'm in a fantastic mood. It actually puts a damper on my mood, but I'll explain why in a little bit. A lot going on in the life of Prince Hudda. Oh, Prince, what are you talking about? There's no hockey? There's no football? What are you going to talk about? What do you want to talk about? To steal a catchphrase from someone we'll discuss later. You'll find out. If you follow me on social, which I'd imagine that's how you found this podcast. If you're just searching Apple or Spotify or YouTube and you found this podcast, I appreciate you. But I feel like if you don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok or seen my shorts, it's probably a weird podcast to be listening to because you have no idea who this host is. So I encourage you to check out my socials at Prince Hudda, at the Prince Hudda, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Really learn my life before you come on here because I share a lot on here, but you kind of understand it more because of who I am on social. So that's kind of the basis and understanding for the show. But my point was, if you follow me on social media, it's been a very, very eventful 7-day stretch for your boy Prince Hudda. Okay, we talked about it last week with Coach Chippy. I was going to attend WWE Money in the Bank, and I did. What a fantastic night it was. Dare I say, one of the best nights of 2024. Easily, in my opinion, the best night of 2024. Actually, it was probably the best one. Lost my voice. Amazing night. We'll get into that. And then last night, at the time of recording, Friday, July 12th, last night, I attended the Mitch Marner Gala Foundation. I don't know the exact title. Mitch Marner has a charity. They had a gala last night. Your boy was in attendance. And I got to party with some of the Toronto Maple Leafs, which was awesome. Lifelong fan. Diehard fan. Said some stuff about them on here. Said some stuff about them on social. Those are the boys. I have to party with them and Coach Chip. So it was a very fun night, but we'll get into both. But I want to kick off, no pun intended, with the Prince Hudda curse. We need to address it. Despite the fact that on here a few weeks ago, I said the Florida Panthers would win the cup. I said the Celtics would win the NBA title. No big deal. I said both. The Prince Hudda curse has slowly brought its way back into the sports world. Okay. You saw on social, Alex Pereira, Yuri Prohaska. I took Yuri. He got destroyed. Okay. The curse kind of rumbles back in. But then let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Portuguese national soccer team, football team, because it's Europe. I'll say football. They got bounced on penalties. After I started glazing the hell out of that team, bandwagoning for the tournament, big future on them to win, they get bounced in the semis, in the quarters, not even the semis. Portuguese fans blaming me, believe it or not. Believe it or not, I am the reason they lost. The Prince Hudda curse, allegedly. It is what it is, okay? I don't know too much about football. I know one of the biggest streamers / influencers in the entire world, I Show Speed, is a big Portugal fan. So I try to leech onto that a little bit. Not to say I'm faking my fandom. I did go there. I did fall in love with the country. I fell in love with the sport, fell in love with multiple women there, but that's not a story I want to talk about on this show. And unfortunately, they couldn't get it done, which hurt. But I'm used to seeing my teams lose. Toronto Maple Leafs, first round bounce almost every single year. Toronto Raptors, we won a ring. This team is now openly saying they're in a rebuild. So nothing to look forward to there. New England Patriots, the less said about them, the better. We'll do some football stuff later as we get close to the season, but not too optimistic on them either. And Portugal decides to not show up. It is what it is. The Prince Hudda curse might be back. I've taken a hiatus from sports betting indefinitely. Okay, indefinitely hiatus. We'll be back by the time once NFL rolls around, because that's kind of where I really like betting. Because you lose one thing, guess what? There's another game on, and another game on, and another game on, and another game on, and another game after, and then another game at night. Like, that is the best time of year. I'm enjoying the summer. Hot Prince summer, still in full effect, but can't wait for the NFL season. And if you follow me on social and know my content, Expect big things. Expect big, big, big things. So that's a little update on the sports world. Olympics starting a little bit. Can you bet on the Olympics? I don't even know. I'd imagine like basketball, soccer, tennis, stuff like that you could bet on. But can you bet on javelin throwing or archery? Or what's the one where the guy has the ball next to his head and he spins shot put? Can you bet on shot put? I would bet on shot put for a content thing, but I have no idea. Excited for the Olympics. Can't really bet on them, so I don't know if I'll be watching them. We talked about this before. Let's get into my week. Okay, you're here for this show. You're here for me. All right, we talk about sports. We talk about this. We talk about that. We talk about Chip. Let's talk about me. This is my outlet. This is my therapy. I don't have a therapist. I go to the gym. I lift weights. I write stuff down when I get stressed out, and I talk into a microphone. Okay, this is therapy. But this is good therapy because we're recounting some good stuff. If you know me personally, which a couple of you have, a couple of you listeners do, I love wrestling. I've loved it since I was a kid. I've always loved WWE. I did a podcast with the Ringside Club. Shout out my man A.O. Baker last week where I told the story of how I fell in love with wrestling. I was 10 years old, I believe, and I had the SmackDown versus Raw Nintendo DS game. And I think it was 2009. It was Shawn Michaels and Triple H on the cover. That's what I believe it is. Google that if you don't believe me. And I was playing my Nintendo DS at an airport. I was going on vacation with my cousins. And my cousins, one's a little older than me. And they're like, "Oh, you watch wrestling?" I'm like, "What? Like WWE? You watch it on TV?" I'm like, "What do you mean? It's a video game." They're like, "No, it's a television show." I'm like, "Bro, I thought it was a video game." And no, they're like, no. Like it's a real show. There's real characters like John Cena, Rey Mysterio. They're all real people. I was like, "No way. Bullshit." So I go home after the vacation. Monday Night Raw comes on. And all these video game characters, because when I shit you not, I love this video game. I was playing it all the time. I knew all the wrestlers. I knew all their moves. I thought it was a video game. They're all real human beings. Characters in the sense of a television show, but they're all real people. I thought John Cena was a video game character. I mean, I was blown away. Because for me, I had this little Nintendo DS with little pixels. I couldn't really pick out who's who. Graphics weren't good. Now I'm watching these guys in HD. And then they have divas who don't wear a whole lot of clothes, which my parents weren't too happy about because they always seemed to walk into the room when I was watching wrestling and the girls were on. Always the Bella Twins or something is happening when they came on. But needless to say, fell in love with wrestling. That was 2010, so it was like Shawn Michaels, I think, had just retired. Cena was the guy. And then the year after was when the CM Punk stuff with the pipe bomb and the Summer of Punk, I think, was the year after. And then I kind of lost touch with it for a little bit, got back into it in school, and now we're all in. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, the WWE Undisputed Universal Heavyweight Championship now hangs on my shelf behind me. Shout out Amazon. I didn't know you could get belt holders, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, needless to say, I'm a 25-year-old that shares a same passion that I had at 11 years old as I do at 25. Like if 11-year-old me and 25-year-old me hung out together, we would bond over the same thing, and that is professional wrestling. So I love it. And this past weekend, I had the opportunity to go to WWE Money in the Bank. So for those that don't know, Money in the Bank, it's a ladder match. You climb the ladder, you get a briefcase, and with the briefcase, you can cash it in on any champion to win the title. So it's like a super cool match, a lot of crazy spots, ladders, tables, all that fun stuff. So I live right next, or right now, I don't want to dox myself. I live somewhere in Toronto near the Scotiabank Arena. So all week I saw them setting up with the posters and the trucks and everything. And then Saturday rolls around, WWE Money in the Bank Day. And a lot of the top guys in WWE have tour buses. So Cody Rhodes, who's the current champion, face of the company, the next John Cena, Randy Orton, who, You don't even need to watch wrestling to know Randy Orton, RKO out of nowhere, and Seth Rollins. We're like the big three. He's a big deal. I'm not a big fan of his, but he's a big deal. Can't get it wrong. He was in the main event against The Rock, right? So he's a big deal. They all had their tour buses pull up, and I can see from my balcony where those tour buses are. And Saturday morning, I went to the gym, and I'm leaving the gym, and I see all these kids and adults, okay? Like, I don't make it seem like there's adult fans. Like, I'm not just some weirdo latching onto this kid stuff, okay? No drizzy. A lot of fans posted outside the buses. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, they're coming off the buses. On one hand, the 10-year-old or 11-year-old in me is like, go to the buses. You can go meet WWE people for the first time ever. Awesome. And on the other hand is like, content, videos. You meet them, you go viral, right? So I run over and I wait by the buses and I wait about 30, 40 minutes. And then Cody Rhodes walks off the bus in the full suit, the neck tattoo, everything, the bleach blonde hair. He walks off the bus and he's got a camera with him. I think WWE is filming some social media stuff. And he turns in my direction. I'm like right across the bus. And then to the left is like a big group of kids and fans, which is closer to the arena. He gets off the bus and he looks at the camera like they're shooting some little social media gimmick. And he does the, come here, follow me. And he starts walking in my direction. And I shit you not. We made eye contact. He looked me in the eye. I was wearing sunglasses, but he looked me in the eye. And then he pivoted and went to the other direction. And he went to this big crowd. They're chanting his name, Cody, Cody, Cody. I put it on my story. And he signed every single autograph. And he took every single picture with every single child. But skipped Prince. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes skipped your boy Prince Hudda. Now, could I have ran over there to where he was and got an autograph? Like one of those kids, one of those fans? I could have. I didn't want to lose my spot, but also this isn't for me. You know, every kid's day was just made. I heard all these little kids, I'm never washing my hand again. I shook his hand. He signed my hat. I'm going to keep this forever. Like he was making memories. That guy signed autographs and took pictures for like 15 minutes to the point where the PR people for WWE are like, let's go. We got to get the fuck out of here. Like, let's go. And so they finally left. And he walked by and he kind of saw that there was all these fans he didn't talk to, but he had to go in. Obviously, that's not his fault. 30 minutes later, I'm still waiting there. Seth Rollins walks off his bus. He acknowledges the fans, looks at them, but instead of signing a single autograph, he just walks inside. So fuck that guy. He's never a big fan of his. You know, he's supposed to be a good guy on TV, but that was a pretty dick move, so never been much of a fan of his, but here we go. Still not much of a fan. And then 15 minutes later. So now I'm about an hour and a half deep into waiting. The last tour bus door opens. And out steps Randy motherfucking Orton. Mr. RKO. Mr. RKO walks off his bus. I swear to God, they say they don't do steroids anymore. This man was one of the largest human beings I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, 6'7". They bill him at 275. He looked a lot bigger than 275. He was a monster. And he turns around and he acknowledges the fans. And that's when the 11-year-old Prince came out. If you saw the video, I did, Randy, no way. That voice you heard, that wasn't a child next to me. That was 25-year-old Prince living the dream of 11-year-old Prince. If 11-year-old Prince saw 25-year-old Prince fangirling over Randy Orton, he would be like, damn, I turned out all right. Not surprised he doesn't have a girl, but I know he turned out all right. And he starts walking in. He didn't do the autographs. He's a big deal. It is what it is. But then he turns around. And if you watch the video that I put out, he turns around and he blows a kiss. Now, you can say what you want. There's like 15 people there. They're all looking and he looked right at me when he blew that kiss. Okay, that kiss was blown to Prince Hudda. Maybe he's a fan. Maybe he's seen some of the videos before. I know he's an NFL fan. Maybe he's seen some skits, but he blew that kiss right in my direction. And he made a fan for life. I mean, he already had a fan for life. I've always loved Randy Orton, but never will forget that. Getting goosebumps telling this story right now, people. This is not a joke to me. This is real. So that was Saturday afternoon prior to the show. Also, I met a really talented kid. I say kid because he's only 20, but Javon Evans, who is currently in NXT, which is like the developmental system, the G League, if you will, of WWE. He's awesome. He can do flips, kicks. He's got a good microphone presence. He's got it all. He's got a good look. I think he's going to be a stud there very, very soon. Very big deal there. So look out for him. Javon Evans, very nice guy. Told him he's up next. He said, I appreciate that, bro. So me and Javon. If you're seeing this, Javon, shout out. Great match. But now we get to the show. Show starts at 7. We walk in, and they kick off with the Money in the Bank match. And man, that show was just unbelievable. I know a lot of people online were like, oh, the booking was trash. Triple H doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, where's Money in the Bank? It was awesome. Maybe it didn't come across like that on TV, but in the building, it was amazing. You're cheering, you're dancing. Like, for people that have never been to a wrestling show, because it's televised and it's live, the crowd is actually part of the show. So when you go, like if you're a fan, you go to like a basketball game or a hockey game or a football game, they're not playing for the crowd, right? They're playing to win because it's competitive, it's real. WWE, it's all manufactured. They're competing for the crowd. And the matches and moves and sequences and timing is all dependent on the crowd's reaction. So you're a part of the show. You know, you're singing people's songs, you're dancing, you're chanting, you know, holy shit, you can chant that. This is awesome. Everything you want. You can say whatever you want, and you're part of the show. It's unbelievable. I don't know how to explain it to someone who's never been, but if you're a fan of WWE or pro wrestling, even if you're not a fan and used to watch it as a kid, go to a show. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. You don't need to pay attention to the storylines. You just need to watch. You'll see some cool stuff. You'll get hyped. You'll be with the crowd, and it's unbelievable. I've been to 7 shows, I think, 7 or 8 shows across WWE and AEW. This was probably my favorite one ever because everyone's singing and dancing. The matches were good, and obviously the biggest thing of the night that I want to get into. Let me pause here because my phone's ringing. The highlight of the night. I'm sure you've seen this on social media, whether you're a wrestling fan or not. This was major, major news and a big surprise. John Cena, one of the best to ever do it. My personal all-time favorite, John Cena, shocked the world and came out. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Oh my God. If you could bottle the feeling of seeing that surprise and sell it, you'd be a billionaire. Oh my God. That was unbelievable. I had no idea that I'd ever see John Cena. He's like 40s and I'm 25. So I never thought we'd cross paths. We'd ever be in the same room. I'd never get to see him perform. And when Trish Stratus announced John Cena, my first reaction was, is she screwing with me? Is it a joke? But then he came out in the jean shorts and the red shirt, and he did the salute, and he had the towel. Oh my God. You can't see, but there's a John Cena towel right above me in this frame that says never give up. And I make sure to look at that every day. You know, this journey, never give up. It's a very cliche quote, but in my mind, he's the first one that said it, and it's his quote. Okay. I used to wear jean shorts when I was like 10 because I wanted to be like Cena. I love this man. So when he came out, did I cry? No. Was I close to crying? Maybe. If you saw the reaction, I was just overwhelmed, shocked, didn't know what to think. And then he comes to the ring and he announces his retirement. And I'm thinking, okay, if you've watched wrestling before, someone's going to interrupt him and get booed, and he's going to do his 5 moves and see You Can't See Me and see the crowd. But he didn't. And I was really emotional. He said he's retiring. He's announced his last run. He talked about how much he loved the fans, and it got really emotional in there. I shit you not. I wasn't me, but there was a guy in my section he was tearing up. He was tearing up. It wasn't me. You can ask someone that was with me. It wasn't me, but there was a guy tearing up at this. And it was so shocking. Because he's an older guy. I mean, I never thought, you never know when someone's going to retire. Like Kobe Bryant openly said, yo, I'm done. Right? But like guys like Brady or Gronkowski or, people of that ilk, you don't know when they're going to retire. Just one day they're like, yeah, I'm done. You're like, what the hell? Whereas he's actually telling you, hey, 2025 is my last year. So buy tickets to every show and buy every t-shirt and buy all this, right? It's brilliant marketing, but it's just sad. So if they do come to Toronto again next year and John Cena's on the show, you bet your ass I'm going to be there. 1,000%. And then the rest of the show happened. I mean, there was some big matches. CM Punk came out, which was pretty cool. I'd never seen... Actually, that's not true. I saw him live. I was hoping to hear the music, the Cult of Personality. That would have been cool, but I saw him. For me, that was like the peak. Like, this is not the best analogy, but like the climax, I guess, for me was seeing Cena. So the rest was good, but it was kind of like, I've already peaked. You know what I mean? I've seen what I've needed to see here. But the tag team match was good. The World Heavyweight Championship match was okay. I know a lot of people had some problems with that. It was okay. And all in all, an unbelievable night. An unbelievable night. When my cousin Ray, my cousin Sammy, it was so much fun. The best wrestling show I've ever been to. I lost my voice. The next day, I literally couldn't speak because I was chanting and singing, and it was just so much fun. I hit the whoa with Cody. That was awesome. So salute to WWE. If you've never been to a wrestling show, whether you're a fan or not, I highly encourage it. Nothing like a sports game, a live sports game. It's completely different, and it's amazing. Like if you ask me, someone asked me the other day, and I'll probably put this out on social too. Would you rather go to the Super Bowl or WrestleMania? For some people, that's easy. Super Bowl. For some people, that's easy. WrestleMania. For someone like me, who absolutely loves both, it's not something I can answer on the spot. I think if you're an NFL fan, obviously Super Bowl is the dream. But if you're a WWE fan, obviously WrestleMania is the dream because it's the Super Bowl of wrestling. Or you could say Super Bowl is the WrestleMania of the NFL, right? So for me, it would depend on the card. Like if it's a Super Bowl with like marquee teams like that, like you know what I mean, like the Chiefs versus the Niners, Chiefs, Eagles, those would be marquee Super Bowls. But then you look at WrestleMania this year, you're telling me I got The Rock, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. It'd be hard to make that decision. I don't know how to answer that question. If I put this poll out, I'm sure 100% of people will say Super Bowl. But I'd love to know, for the diehard wrestling fans out there, if there are people that would choose WrestleMania over the Super Bowl. So I'll leave that to you guys. It's an interesting one, for sure. For sure. WrestleMania's in Las Vegas next year. So maybe your boy could get tickets. Who knows? I did, I don't know if I should say this. I did reach out to the WWE PR Canada team. Hey, my name's Prince Hudda. I do content in Toronto. I don't know why I use this voice because I wrote the email pretty casually, but Prince Hudda, I'm from Toronto. I do content. Would love to come out and cover this event. Big fan. They ghosted me. It is what it is. No harm, no shame. They're probably busy. They probably get a lot of emails, but I was a little pissed about that. But who knows? Next year. And then let's talk about last night. Switching gears. If you notice the artwork above me now, Toronto Maple Leafs poster in the room. I got a party with the Toronto Maple Leafs last night. That was pretty fun. So Mitch Marner has an incredible charitable foundation. They do a lot for the community in Toronto. It was their 5th or 6th annual uh, gala event. See, this is the problem. Like I should probably know this stuff going in. Like this is the event. This is the context. This was that. It was a gala event for his charity. Could I tell you what the charity does? No. But great event. Beautiful. In Toronto. All the glitz and glamour. There was a live auction. There was, the finger food trays, all this cool stuff. It was one of those bougie events. And fortunately, Sports Interaction was a host, or a sponsor, a key sponsor. So we hosted a bunch of members of our team, some customers, and all that. And your boy got on the invite list. So it was pretty cool. Walking in. If you guys saw, I was dressed pretty well. That's not to say I don't dress well, but I don't dress formal. You know what I mean? Like my formal is a golf shirt. If I'm wearing a golf shirt, shit's about to go down. I'm serious that day. But I was wearing a long sleeve collared shirt, fitted. I had the pants on, belt. It was tucked in. I wore my Jordans, and I have a pair of Jordans I've only worn, I think 5 or 6 times. I've had them for over 2 years. I've only worn them about 5 or 6 times. I busted the J's out. So you knew Prince was in his bag for this event. So I show up. Probably top 2 or top 3 best shoes there, but that's neither here nor there. One compliment. Shout out OJ. He recognized it. And Chip noticed it too. Chip was there as well. So we walk in, and right away, it's just overwhelming how many people are in there. Like you're looking around, Joseph Wall's there, John Tavares is there, Mitch Marner's there. I was looking for Matthews. He was probably in Arizona, playing with his dogs or going golfing. So I respect that. I mean, get out of here when it's not that warm. I mean, it's 30 degrees here, but, do what you got to do. And so we're walking around, and we did an interview with Marner for Sports Interaction. You'll see that in the coming days. Shout out Alex. She did a great job with that. I held the light, so I was there. But yeah, he was a really cool guy. He gave us some of his time. We were just chatting. It's funny. He's I know from social that he's like a big ice cream fan. That's like a thing amongst Torontonians, is like he has like this pregame ritual where he eats ice cream, something like that I saw on Twitter, right? So we asked him about ice cream. Like, what's your favorite ice cream spot? And he mentioned some place near him, which was pretty cool. Then I asked him about Cows. And if you've never heard of Cows, it's like a iconic Canadian ice cream franchise originated in, I believe, Prince Edward Island. And they have, fresh ice cream. But the reason they really popped off is they do merchandise where they knock off designer brands or TV shows or like they use cows and cow puns, like a bunch of cow dad jokes, and rip off merchandise. So like instead of Gucci, they have a shirt that says Moochie, like cows. And then instead of Lacoste, they have a shirt that says lactose, which I actually have. It's pretty funny. And they do really big ice cream. I think they have a location in Niagara Falls as well. So I asked him about that. He's like, I had no idea. Never heard of it. And I was just like, this guy's such a big ice cream fan, doesn't even know Cows. But that's neither here nor there. Maybe he likes to keep it local. That's fine. I'm a Dairy Queen guy myself. The blizzards, they put them upside down and it doesn't fall out. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. So yeah, the night's going on. Coach Chippy pulls up. Holy shit. Can we talk about that for a second? You had several key members of the Toronto Maple Leafs in this venue. And Coach Chippy was probably getting more people stopping, coming up, asking for pictures, saying hello than any of those players. It was unbelievable. I mean, he's like, yo, you didn't say hi to me when I walked in. I'm like, I tried. You were getting hounded by people. I couldn't. But we got chill for a bit. Boys got to hang out. Took some nice photos. And it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable how many people hound this guy. Like, I've seen it when we go to like hockey tournaments, or we went to the All-Star game together. That was pretty crazy how like people were looking at him watching the game than actually watching the game, which was unbelievable. But that was just because it was adults, right? This is a 19 plus. This is adults coming up. This isn't little kids. This is grown men and women and mothers and players. Max Domi was fangirling over this guy. Holy shit. We'll talk about that on the next episode when we get him in here. But yeah, I was just amazed by that. And it always impresses me. I'm so proud of that guy. I love that guy. What else happened? I got to talk to Joseph Woll, the goalie for the Leafs, which was pretty cool. He's a young guy. I mean, he looked really young. He's a year older than me. I had no idea, but there's a video that went viral during the playoffs of him playing Interstellar on the piano. Not sure if you've seen it. It's fantastic. I thought it was bullshit. I thought it was one of those, he moves his fingers and the piano's already playing, so it sounds like he's playing, but he's not. I thought it was one of those things. So I saw him later in the night, couple beverages in, and I was like, "Hey Joseph, I got a question for you." He goes, "What's up?" It's like, that video of you playing piano to Interstellar, was that real? That was my opening line. I was like, "Was that real?" He's like, "Yeah, it was real." I was like, "No way." I didn't believe him. He's like, "No." I was like, "What, did you take lessons?" He's like, "No, I taught myself." This guy taught himself how to play piano from YouTube videos. This is a goalie of an NHL franchise. This is what he does in his free time. That's unbelievable. That's one of the healthiest habits I've ever heard. He's like, "Yeah, I just taught myself. I did lessons. I couldn't do it. And I just learned on my own." I was like, that is unbelievable. And then just out of morbid curiosity, I was like, how do you deal with the pressure? Because like, if you live in Toronto and you're on social media, Leaf fans are fucking insane. If you're winning, we're the best team in the world. The people treat you like gods. But if you're losing, get them out of here. Bum, harassing the team. It's everything. Like we've heard horror stories in the past. James Reimer and his girlfriend at the time, I think it was his wife, God forbid, they had to deal with some crazy stuff here with some hate from fans. So I asked him, how do you deal with that pressure? He's like, I don't use social media. I go, what? He's like, yeah, I'll post on Instagram and then I'll delete it from my phone. I'm like, oh my God, this guy absolutely locked in between the ears. That's what I want to hear from a starting goaltender of an NHL franchise. Plays the piano to relieve stress and doesn't use social media. That's what I want to hear. Locked it. Like, the injury issues have halted him in the past, but I think if he could stay healthy, this guy is a stud and he can take us to a deep playoff run. If he stays healthy, hopefully. Game 7, he wasn't available. Some say that's the reason we lost. We lost for a couple other reasons, but yeah, obviously that's a big one. And I got a picture with him. He's a nice guy, man. I'm rooting for his success. Whether he's a member of this team for a long time, I think he just signed an extension, but if he's a long-time player here, he goes someone else. He's got the Prince Hudda support because just an unbelievable human being, so polite. What I love is like when guys are like, because this happens in when you see guys like, not just like celebrities, anyone where it's like they'd rather be anywhere but there, and you can just see it in their face when they're talking. Yeah, sure, cool, right? You just know when someone's kind of just like in one ear out the other. They don't give a shit. This guy was genuinely making eye contact, saying sentences, like just having an actual conversation. And then he had to leave and he said, "What's up?" But yeah, just a beauty. Him and Mitch Marner, two absolute nice human beings. You see a lot online about how, trade them, do this, do that. I'll be honest, I haven't been fully supportive of Marner throughout his run here. I've said trade him or do this, do that. He's a hell of a player, but obviously there's times where, fandom gets in the way. But as a human being, just unbelievable dude, super polite, super courteous with my company and the video we did. And then Joseph Woll, just out of the blue, he could have been a dick to me because I came in thinking his piano playing was bullshit. He's like, no, it was real. And we had a nice conversation. So shout out to the Leafs, 2025 Stanley Cup champions. Lock it in. Prince Hudda guaranteed. Prince Hudda curse will be over. It'll be lifted when the Leafs win the Stanley Cup in 2025. So great night. Great few days. I mean, in the last 7 days, I was within a few feet of Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. I was in the same room as John Cena and CM Punk. And last night, I got to hang out with the Toronto Maple Leafs. A pretty banner fucking week for Prince Hudda, if I do say so myself. So, very, very cool stuff going on in the real world. But I want to end today talk about something going on in the social sphere. I did it again. I did it again. I seem to have pissed off the internet yet again. Last time we had this conversation, I was getting hated on because I took a video of a highway being empty, not knowing it was closed. Remember, we talked about it. The Wave Room went viral, 500,000 views on TikTok, 400,000 on the Wave Room Instagram. Not a big deal. I'm just stating the facts. This is not bragging. These are facts. It seems like this week I did it again. So, Canada had a game against Argentina in the semifinals of the Copa America soccer tournament. And there's this one player on Argentina, Rodrigo de Paul. I'm sure it has a better pronunciation in Spanish and sounds a lot cooler when one of them says it, but he deserved an Academy Award for his performance in that game. He was just diving and, oh, my knee, my back, oy vey, and then gets up right away once the ref gives a foul to Canada. And there were two plays in particular that really frustrated me. Steven Eustáquio from Canada goes in for a slide tackle, barely touches DePaul, and he jumps and, my knee, oy vey, grabs his knee, rolling on the ground. Canada gets a card, and he gets up and pops up right away. No big deal. And then a few minutes later, he's on the ground. And one of my favorite players on Canada, he's just got that swagger to him. I hope he becomes a stud. He just seems like a really cool dude. Ismail Kone, the guy's laying on the ground. You've probably seen this. This clip was going viral. The guy's laying on the ground, and he kicks the soccer ball at his back. Not like a toe punt of the ball. He kind of rolls it and hits his back. And then DePaul's on the ground. Oh, my back. Ayos míos, my back. Oh, my God. Rolling around like a bitch. Canada gets a card. And so that really pissed me off watching live. And so what do? One of my outlets to relieve. I made a video. I said, this is a joke. This guy's a loser. What is he doing? Now, obviously, no disrespect to DePaul. One of the best professional soccer players in Argentina to be on the world team. Obviously, Argentina is one of the best teams in the world in soccer. And the fact that he's on their starting 11 means he's a good player, right? No disrespect to his soccer skills. But the rolling on the ground and the acting, I mean, that was bullshit. Anyone knows it. So I posted a video. Again, it's always the videos I think that mean nothing that I post that go crazy. At the time, I think there's like 120,000 views on it. Would you believe that the entire population of Argentina is in the comment section telling me how much of an idiot I am, how clean of a play it was, how it's part of the game, how I'm new to the sport, how I should stick to hockey or football, all this stuff. I'm getting so much hate on this. Obviously, I got my Prince Faithful in there defending me in the comments, and some new members of Prince Faithful have joined the crew because of how egregious the clip was and my confidence to just speak out on it. But would you believe I'm getting hate again? Whether I'm posting a highway bridge or I'm complaining about the start of a hockey game not being at 8 when it says 8, or soccer players diving. I get so much hate. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Some people say, oh, you only have 2,000 followers on Instagram and only this on TikTok. But yeah, and I'm pulling numbers like your favorite creators are. Okay, in the month of June and July, I've had multiple videos go for 100,000 views plus with 2,000 followers about hockey, about basketball, and now about soccer. So yeah, people can dive into one niche of sports and go crazy with numbers. Now imagine being able to pull that across 3 different sports. Who else is doing that but Prince? A lot of people are doing that, but like at the stage I'm at, only in the infancy of this journey to the top, I'm doing that. It's unbelievable. And this is my off season. Okay, I'm an NFL content creator from September to February. So this is just building the arsenal, keeping the lights on, doing what I got to do to make it to NFL season. And it's working. And it's working. But you know what? It's hard. It's really hard sometimes when you put your heart and soul into a video and they got these assholes who tell you that it's a stupid video, and then they DM you and they tell you all these mean things. And it's just, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. I wear sunglasses and make TikTok videos in my bedroom. I don't take this shit seriously. Why do you? Why do you? I don't understand. My mom, she'll always be like, she'll see me getting hate. She's like, does that bother you? No, it doesn't bother me. None of this is real. It's really me and my real feelings. But obviously, it's social media. Get over it, people. You know, people DMing me, writing paragraphs. You don't know what you're talking about because back in the day, the history of the sport, this is what the... Grow up. Relax. It's just social media. It's a video of me recording my screen talking about soccer. Okay? It's not that serious. It's a video of me recording the highway. It's not that serious. It's a video of me complaining that games start at 8, don't start at 8. Okay? These are common pain points of everyday sports fans, and I'm the only one with the balls to make videos about it. You know why those videos do so well? Because people agree with me. And the people that don't agree with me, that go to war in the comments, I don't know if you guys realize this, you're helping my numbers. Because if you continue to respond to comments, you're watching the video again and triggering more people to watch it. Spoiler alert. $1 million advice right there. $1 million advice right there. Sorry. I went a little insane there. This is what I mean. This podcast is therapy because this is my way of talking. You know, I have friends, I have family, but like this is the way to get that stuff out of my head. That's been brewing in my head since Wednesday when that post came out. You know, I didn't think that this post about soccer, I didn't even think, honestly, if that one did 1,000 views, I would have been happy. And this is being dead serious. Like, I'm not a soccer account. I know very little about the sport. I have very little soccer fans, and I haven't made posts about soccer before. So I didn't think that video would do anything. And I wake up 2 days later, we're north of 110,000, and people telling me how stupid I am, how much of an idiot I am. It's unbelievable. Social media is unbelievable, but I know I'm doing something right. That's for sure. Because it seems like whether you love me or you hate me, you're still watching, you're still listening. And that's what it's all about. So the Prince Hudda rocket ship, it hasn't taken off yet. I think we're close. I know we're close. You know, you got, like John Cena says, I can't show you, but the towel's there. It says never give up. I will never give up because I love doing this. And the community and fandom that I've built with you guys makes it all worth it. I love you guys. I don't think you understand how much it means to me when someone will DM me, hey man, love that video. Hey man, you've been killing it recently. Hey man, appreciate your content. Makes me laugh. Oh, this made my day. I don't think you understand how much that stuff means to me. It means the world to me. Okay, that's the reason I get out of bed every day and make videos. That's the reason I put on the sunglasses and turn on the camera. Because I hope somewhere in the world, somewhere locally, someone's scrolling their feed, they're in a bad mood, they're not having the best day, they see a video of mine, and it puts a smile on their face. That's what I'm about. That's what I do this for. People say, oh, how do you want to take this? What do you want to do? I want to continue building this Prince Hudda brand and continuing to grow my following and continuing to make people laugh every single day. Or entertainment. You know, not just laugh. Like, well, some of these videos are funny, but they're not ha 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 funny. They're like, oh, I'll keep watching. It's entertaining, funny. I want to entertain, educate, inform, and have people enjoy. Entertain and enjoy. Those are my two pillars, content pillars. Entertainment and enjoyment. Skits, green screens, memes, whatever it is I got to do to make you guys laugh. I continue to do. So I appreciate you all for listening, for watching, sharing videos with friends, defending me in the comments, all the kind words that I receive every day. I love you all. This is becoming a love fest, but I'm going to wrap it up. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Subscribe to the podcast, Apple, Spotify, or YouTube, or all three. Take care. I'll do it for Chip because he's not here. Don't think too much. Just flow. And I will see you very soon. Peace.